Honourable Vice President, the situation of human rights in Balochistan is deteriorating and worsening by the day, which requires the Council's immediate attention. The government has given a free hand to security forces to continue gross human rights violations and crimes against humanity. The sham provincial government of Balochistan is a selection of Pakistan military, thus the armed forces enjoy complete impunity. Mr. Vice President, Pakistani military continues its notorious policies in Balochistan. Military operations are being carried out against the civilians and using torture and arbitrary detentions as an instrument of cohesion. The FC, the Frontier Corps, which is under the command of the Pakistani Army, is given complete control over Balochistan, where enforced disappearances, torture and other ill treatment and extrajudicial executions are reported on a daily basis. In over a decade, tens of thousands of Baloch have disappeared in Balochistan by the hands of the state security forces. In many cases, bodies are found days later with visible signs of extreme torture and mutilation, which the international human rights organizations call the kill and dump policy of Pakistan. In other cases, a body is never recovered and the state denies any responsibility, neither brings any perpetrators to justice. Mr. President, the army and the intelligence agencies, namely the ISI and the MI, military intelligence, muzzle dissenting and critical voices in non-governmental organizations, Baloch nationalist parties, and even the media. Pakistan is systematically radicalizing the secular Baloch in order to counter the legitimate struggle for self-determination. I urge this august council to hold Pakistan accountable for crimes against humanity in Balochistan.
Thank you. Next meeting. I understand that a number of delegations have requested to exercise a right of reply. And at this stage, I give the floor to the representative of India. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. My delegation wishes to exercise its right of reply in response to a statement made by Pakistan under this agenda item. Pakistan continues to test the patience of this Council with its false narrative over the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan has had territorial ambitions over Kashmir since 1947 that has found concrete expression in the aggression it embarked on in 1947, 1965 and 1999. As on date, Pakistan is in illegal and forcible occupation of approximately 78,000 square kilometers of Indian territory in Jammu and Kashmir. The fundamental reason for disturbances in Kashmir is cross-border terrorism promoted by Pakistan. Active support since 1989 to separatist groups in Kashmir and terrorist elements from different parts of the world, including from territory under Pakistan's control, has become a central element of Pakistan's state policy. We firmly believe that a policy of zero tolerance to terrorism is as much an international obligation as it is a commitment to our own people. We urge this Council to call upon Pakistan to end cross-border infiltration, dismantle the infrastructure of support to terrorism, and to stop acting as an epicenter of international terrorism. Pakistan's efforts to rake up Jammu and Kashmir in this forum for purely propagandist purposes is in contrast with the blatant abuse and violation of human rights in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and in other parts of Pakistan, including Balochistan, that is adversely impacting the stability of the entire region. Pakistan's continued mistreatment of large parts of its own population has created a cauldron of tumult that has begun to jeopardize the safety and security of its neighboring countries. The people of Balochistan, amongst other provinces, have been waging for decades a bitter and brave struggle against the daily abuse and torture. Religious and sectarian minorities such as Hindus, Christians, Sunnis, Ahmadiyas, Ismailis, and others continue to face discrimination, persecution and targeted attacks in Pakistan. Places of worship belonging to minorities have been destroyed and vandalized. Blasphemy laws remain in force and are disproportionately used against religious minorities. Various international organizations have documented how enforced disappearances continue with impunity, particularly in Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Sindh, where members of the Muttahida Qawami movement are routinely abducted and unlawfully killed. More than 1 million people remain displaced as a result of the current and past armed conflicts in the northwest of Pakistan. Given this state of affairs, Pakistan will be well advised to focus its energies on setting its own house in order and acting against the perpetrators of terrorist attacks on its neighbors, instead of ritually raking up alleged human rights violations elsewhere. We once again ask Pakistan to stop inciting and supporting violence and terrorism in any part of India and refrain from meddling in our internal affairs in any manner. We also call upon the Council to urge Pakistan to fulfill its obligations to vacate illegal occupation of a part of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. I thank you.
Thank you.